Namaste, Dandavat Pranam. By the instruction and grace of our spiritual master Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Śrīpad Bhakti Madhava Puri Mahārāja, we are here reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are also paying our humble Dandavat Pranam to Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada for providing us this wonderful commentary and translation of Bhagavatam. And following the guidance of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura, we are praying to Srimati Radharani. Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī has told us that unless we learn something about Srimati Radharani in Bhagavatam, then our study has been pointless if we haven't done that. Yadi seva vanchitasya ma, yasya kripaya vayam labema, sarvam prapnuma prayojanam, damni Shri Bhagavat Pade, Krishna sambandhi sarvam cha, yadi na jani mahe tutam, ashtadashasu sahasreshu, Shlokanam Bhagavat Oktishu Radharanim Navindamatada Nishfalam Bhagavat Adhyayanam Radhikaya Kripam Vina Vyartasyat Sarva Parishrama. If we are cheated out of serving that personality whose mercy awards us everything we need, including residence in the Lord's holy Dham, and all things connected to Krishna, and if we cannot understand or discover Radharani within the 18,000 verses of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, then our study of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam has been pointless. Without the mercy of Śrīmati Radharani, all of our efforts are in vain. So we are continuing our reading from Canto 5, the Creative Impetus, Chapter 8, a description of the character of Bharata Mahārāja. Although Bharata Mahārāja was very elevated, he fell down due to his attachment to a young deer. One day after Bharata Mahārāja had taken his bath as usual in the river Gandaki and was chanting his mantra, he saw a pregnant deer come to the river to drink water. Suddenly there could be heard the thundering roar of a lion, and the deer was so frightened that it immediately gave birth to its calf. It then crossed the river, but died immediately thereafter. Mahārāja Bharata took compassion upon the motherless calf, rescued it from the water, took it to his ashram and cared for it affectionately. He gradually became attached to this young deer and always thought of it affectionately. As it grew up, it became Mahārāja Bharata's constant companion, and he always took care of it. Gradually he became so absorbed in thinking of this deer that his mind became agitated. As he became more attached to the deer, his devotional service slackened. Although he was able to give up his opulent kingdom, he became attached to the deer. Thus he fell down from his mystic yoga practice. Once, when the deer was absent, Mahārāja Bharata was so disturbed that he began to search for it. While searching and lamenting the deer's absence, Mahārāja Bharata fell down and died. Because his mind was fully absorbed thinking of the deer, he naturally took his next birth from the womb of a deer. However, because he was considerably advanced spiritually, he did not forget his past activities, even though he was in the body of a deer. He could understand how he had fallen down from his exalted position, and remembering this, he left his mother deer and again went to Pulaha Ashram. He finally ended his fruitive activities in the form of a deer, and when he died, he was released from the deer's body. Text 1. Shri Shuka Uvacha Ekadatu Mahanadyam Krita Bhisheka Nayami Kavashako Brahmaksharam Abhigranano Muhurta Trayam Udakanta Upavivesha. Sri Shukadev Goswami continued, my dear king, one day after finishing his morning duties, evacuating, urinating, and bathing, Maharaj Bharata sat down on the bank of the river Gandaki for a few minutes and began chanting his mantra, beginning with Omkar. Text 2. Tatra tadarajan harini pipasaya jalasaya bhyasam ikaivo pajagama. O king, while Bharata Maharaj was sitting on the bank of that river, a doe, being very thirsty, came there to drink. Text 3. Taya pepi yamana udake tavad ivavi durena nadato mriga pater unado loka bayankara udapatat. While the doe was drinking with great satisfaction, a lion, which was very close, roared very loudly. This was frightful to every living entity, and it was heard by the doe. Tam upashrutya samriga vadu prakriti viklava chakita nirikshana sutaram api hari bhaya binivesha vyagra hridaya pariplava drishtir agata trishabayat sahashaivo chakrama. By nature, the doe was always afraid of being killed by others, and it was always looking about suspiciously. When it heard the lion's tumultuous roar, it became very agitated. Looking here and there with disturbed eyes, the doe, although it had not fully satisfied itself by drinking water, suddenly leaped across the river. Tasya utpatanyatya antarvatnya uru payava galito yoni nirgato garbha shrotasi nipapata. The doe was pregnant, and when it jumped out of fear, the baby deer fell from its womb into the flowing waters of the river. There is every chance of a woman's having a purport. If there's every chance of a woman's having a miscarriage if she experiences some ecstatic emotion or is frightened. Pregnant women should therefore be spared all these external influences. Text 6. Tat prasya votsarpana bhaya kedatura svaganena viyujamana kasyanchid daryam Krishna Sarasvatī Nipapatata cha mamara. Being separated from its flock and distressed by its miscarriage, the black doe, having crossed the river, was very much distressed. Indeed, it fell down in a cave and died immediately. Text 7. Tam tvena kunakam kripanam shrota sanohyamanam abhivikchapavidam bandhor ivanu kampaya Rajarashir Bharata Adhyamrita Mataram Ityashrama Padam Anayat. The great King Bharata, while sitting on the bank of the river, saw the small deer, bereft of its mother, floating down the river. Seeing this, he felt great compassion. Like a sincere friend, he lifted the infant deer from the waves and knowing it to be motherless, brought it to his ashram. Purport. The laws of nature work in subtle ways unknown to us. Maharaj Bharata was a great king and very advanced in devotional service. He had almost reached a point of loving service to the Supreme Lord, but even from that platform he could fall down onto the material platform. In Bhagavad Gītā we are therefore warned, Yam hi navyatayantyete purusham purusharshaba samaduka shukam dhiram somrittatvaya kalpate. O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Bhagavad Gītā text 2.15. Spiritual salvation and liberation from material bondage must be worked out with great caution. Otherwise, a little discrepancy will cause one to fall down again into material existence. By studying the activities of Maharaj Bharata, we can learn the art of becoming completely freed from all material attachment. As it will be revealed in later verses, Bharata Mahārāja had to accept the body of a deer due to being overly compassionate for this infant deer. We should be compassionate by raising one from the material platform to the spiritual platform. Otherwise, at any moment, our spiritual advancement may be spoiled, and we may fall down onto the material platform. Maharaj Bharata's compassion for the deer was the beginning of his fall down into the material world. Text 8. Tasyaha va'ena kunaka uchar etasmin krita nija bimanasyahar ahastad poshana palana lalana prinananu jane natma niyama sahayama purusha paricharya daya ekai kasa kati payena har ganena viyu jamanaha kila sarva evo dhavasvan. Gradually, Maharaj Bharata became very affectionate toward the deer. He began to raise it and maintain it by giving it grass. He was always careful to protect it from the attacks of tigers and other animals. When it itched, he petted it, and in this way he always tried to keep it in a comfortable condition. He sometimes kissed it out of love. Being attached to raising the deer, Maharaj Bharata forgot the rules and regulations for the advancement of spiritual life, and he gradually forgot to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After a few days, he forgot everything about his spiritual advancement. Purport. From this we can understand how we have to be very cautious in executing our spiritual duties by observing the rules and regulations and regularly chanting the Hare Kṛṣṇa mahāmantra. If we neglect doing this, we will eventually fall down. We must rise early in the morning, bathe, attend Mangal Arti, worship the deities, chant the Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra, study Vedic literatures, and follow all the rules prescribed by the acharyas and the spiritual master. If we deviate from this process, we may fall down, even though we may be very highly advanced. As stated in Bhagavad Gītā 18.5, Yagya dana tapa karma natyagyam karyam evatat. Yagyo danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up, but should be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great soul. Even if one is in the renounced order, he should never give up the regulative principles. He should worship the deity and give his time and life to the service of Krishna. He should also continue following the rules and regulations of austerity and penance. These things cannot be given up. One should not think oneself very advanced simply because one has accepted the sannyas order. The activities of Bharata Mahārāja should be carefully studied, for one's spiritual advancement. Text 9. Actually, we'll continue from here on Monday. So before we finish, were there any comments or questions or anything to share from the assembled devotees?
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, we see like Bharat Maharaj was just like how can Bharat Maharaj forget? It doesn't seem like this would happen. Like he is so advanced devotee, and by a deer we see like he fell down, and then if we consider our case in Kali Yuga, then we don't even remember half of the times.
He did it for our benefit. That seems to always be the way that I hear the acharyas describe these kinds of situations. How is it possible that Arjuna became afraid and forgot that he was supposed to do his duty as a Kshatriya on the battlefield of Kurukshetra? Well, he didn't. But for our benefit, so Krishna could speak Bhagavad Gītā, this Leela was going on, so that we can benefit from that during this Kali Yuga. Reading Bhagavad Gītā, hearing Krishna's instructions to Arjuna. So, and I think potentially we could think of Bharata Mahārāja in the same way. These great souls are having these kinds of pastimes so that we can benefit from them, we can learn from them. That, I mean, Śrīla Prabhupada was very clear in the purport, I think. He said, Prabhupada's emphasis was that even you think you have a very high position, Bharata Mahārāja was a very high devotee, still that at any time, if we have our guard down and we're thinking we're already perfect, Maya can still sneak in an unexpected way and derail our spiritual practice. So I think it's a reminder to be humble, to remain humble. Even if we have some, by Krishna's arrangement, we get some higher position in service, but then we let that go to our head, then we can lose that service, right? That was the main point, actually. Not Bharata Mahārāja was compassionate to the deer. That wasn't really the problem. The problem was that his compassion for the deer became too unbalanced that he stopped his service. So the problem was that he let something get in the way of his service. And again, I'm not saying Bharata Mahārāja really did that, but for our benefit, we can learn from that example that he did in that Leela. So if we allow something, even in the mode of goodness, in the Sattva Gun, being compassionate, being charitable, but we let that get in the way of our devotional service, then, Maya will still catch us. We'll still become derailed. So our service is the main thing. Our service is our connection with Guru. And that's the center point that we can judge everything else. Are other things helping us to stay fixed in our service, or are they taking us away? And if they're taking us away, we should reject that. And if they're bringing us closer, then we should accept it. And Sripad Bhaktimadhava Puri Maharaj said that, how can we know if we're making spiritual progress? He said, if our service is increasing, then we can tell that we're making progress. Krishna is giving us more opportunity because he's pleased with us.
Ji, Prabhu. Prabhupada mentioned this a regular schedule, like waking up in the morning, Mangal Arati and all these things. But for some some of us it is not possible to do this daily. Like at least we don't have a temple nearby we can attend or perform such things. Then so and also like uh, in Kali Yuga we see like the chanting is the main process we have heard, and then why all these things are mentioned.
Because they help to keep us clean. Like, so I also am not living near a temple. The nearest temple is maybe 1 hour away, but there's some small altar here in Sripad Puri Maharaja's Bhajan Kutir. We just offer some incense in the morning, offer the prasad, the bhog, we offer the bhog. We chant the Guru Vandana. It's like some, 15, 30-minute process of just trying to start your day by remembering and offering something small, humble to the Lord. And in that way, it's a very auspicious start to the day. You get up as early as you can, I mean, the ideal is, they say Brahma Muhurta is like 4:30 a.m. or 90 minutes before the sun. But obviously, if it's not possible, get up as early as you can, 6 o'clock. Even if 6 o'clock isn't possible, then do whatever you can. But the idea is that for some reason, it's by the earlier that we wake up. So this is what Sripad Puri Maharaj would tell me, that we have to be very eager and enthusiastic to serve. So when we're waking up early, it's why are we waking up so early? Because we're very eager to get our service started. We have much hankering. We want to become Krishna conscious. So why would we want to sleep in? We would like to wake up as early as is possible for us because we're so enthusiastic to do our service. The first thing that we like to do is just offer some little incense to the Lord, offer some prayers to our Guru Varga, and then this is a very auspicious start to the day. And we don't need a temple. We can just have a little picture of the Lord, of Guru, on a table in the corner of our house, and just offer a little incense there, some water, whatever, and then ask, please accept whatever bhog that is prepared in your kitchen so that we may honor your prasadam. And in that way, we're increasing our eagerness. We're very eager to wake up and do our service. Not that, oh man, it's 8:30 a.m. Now I got to do this service. What a drag. That's not that kind of mood doesn't like encourage the ecstasy that that we're being told is the fruit of devotion. That ecstasy is we sincerely become excited. Like we want to wake up. We want to get it. We want to get started. Why would we want to do anything else? Sleeping, sleeping where we got to sleep for this body, but we don't we don't we don't want to be limited by this body. So we don't want sleep to become something we indulge in too much. Whatever's necessary, no problem. But we are eager to do our service constantly. We want to be fixed, right? Rupa Goswami said, Anya Bilasita Sunyam, right? I believe Anya Bilasita Sunyam, very fixed, constantly fixed in service. So this is very exciting. And we're so excited that we're waking up early, we're offering the incense, offering the bhoga, and like that. Nothing can stop us. Even if there's a temple too far away, we don't need the temple. We'll just have a little table in the house, in the apartment. If we're living outside, we have no home, then we can carry the picture in our pocket, offer some incense. We can make it work anywhere.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Jai Vishnupad. Oh, was there something else, Prabhu?
Just one thing, Guruji, like what we are doing right now, it is like I have heard like there are three things: Arop sadhana and something Madhyamadika does. Then there is Sambandh sadhana, maybe Swarup sadhana at the final stages. So what we are doing is for remembrance, right? Like for the remembrance of Lord, for our benefit. This
Yes, like we talked about the other day, our goal is always the prayojan is
very
Radhadasyam,
far.
love of
Mm.
Krishna through service to Srimati Radharani. Service to Srimati Radharani is the highest thing. So that's always our prayojan. And then the process to attain that, what is the abhideya? Rupa Goswami gave, right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, like that. It's very simple. Our goal is never changing. Our goal is Radhadasyam. And the process to attain that starts with the Shravanam. First we have to hear, then Kirtanam, we have to repeat and chant. Then when we hear and repeat, hear, repeat, finally we remember Krishna, we remember something. Still we have to hear, still we have to repeat, still we have to do Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam will increase, and then the rest of those processes of devotion also have to be implemented. Padasevanam, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, it will kick in. Our bad qualities eventually will start to become purified. And even while we're in anartha nivritti, which may be our whole life, or maybe we'll always be in anartha nivritti for the next 5 lifetimes, who knows? That's very nice. It means we're making progress. And even while we're there, we still have to hear and chant and remember. And so Rupa Goswami has given this very nicely, systematically. And that is the process that leads to ultimately that Atma Nivedanam, full self-surrender, which means Radhadasyam, ultimately. Because even Sripad Puri Maharaj said during one of his last lectures, he said even surrender means that we're materially oriented and that we have to, surrender our materialistic ego to the higher will. But ultimately, Radhadasyam is purely about love. Even the concept of surrender, it's not about, ultimately, it's about pure love. That pure love is inspiring all our action, and we're just so fixed in that kind of consciousness that everything else doesn't matter. It's just this pure loving exchange with the servants of Srimati Radharani and wanting to please them. Our full desire, our full heart is just wanting to please them because it's so wonderful. Their activities are so wonderful, and we're just hoping to help them in those activities.
Thank you, Puri. This service must come from above, right, Puri? We can't manufacture service ourselves.
Of course, it comes down. But also, we cannot manufacture service, but it comes from us. We have to, like Sripad Bhaktimadhava Puri Maharaj never liked to ask people for service. He would wait for them to offer what service they would like to do, and then he would engage them accordingly. But he never liked to say, okay, you do this service. He wanted to see what they would spontaneously offer from their heart, because that's where progress is made. When it comes from our side as an expression of our love, we are offering, not that we have to be told. So there is reciprocation. It's coming down, no doubt, but it's also coming down and through us. We also have to express that by offering our service freely, not waiting to be prompted.
So first step we should take, then next steps from higher plane it will be done.
It's always reciprocal. It's always a give and take. It's always from both sides.
And thank you very much for that.
Hare Krishna. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev Ki Jai. Jai Sri Tirtha Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. All
Yeah.
Guru assembled devotees Ki Jai. Sama Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai. Jai Navadvip Dham ki jai, Mayapur Dham ki jai, Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ju ki jai, Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai ki jai, Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Giri Govardhan Govardhan Dham ki jai, Sham Kund Radha Kund ki jai, Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Vrinda Devi ki jai. Jai Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki jai, Scientific Sankirtan Yagya ki jai, Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Sarasvatī ki jai, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari 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 Bol. Jai Srimati Uma Devi Dasi ki jai. Jai Bhakti Imam ki jai. Bhakta Charad ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.
हरि बोल।
श्री कृष्ण केशव प्रभु जी की जय।
Jai
जय
Guru.
दंडवत प्रणाम।
Dhanavad Pranam.
हरे कृष्ण।